1. Which of the following is an example of a numerical reasoning question in the GCAT? A. Identifying synonyms for a given word. B. Solving equations with fractions. C. Arranging events in chronological order. D. Matching shapes with missing parts. 2. In a verbal reasoning section of the GCAT, a candidate is most likely asked to A. Interpret statistical data. B. Find logical connections between words. C. Estimate probabilities. D. Visualize rotating objects. 3. The abstract reasoning portion of the GCAT typically measures a candidate's ability to A. Recognize patterns and relationships in shapes. B. Recall historical facts. C. Calculate percentages. D. Interpret financial charts. 4. Which skill is most directly assessed in the logical reasoning part of the GCAT? A. Deductive thinking. B. Mechanical aptitude. C. Long-term memory recall. D. Sensory perception. 5. In a numerical reasoning test, if a train travels 180 kilometers in 3 hours, what is its average speed? A. 50 kilometers per hour. B. 60 kilometers per hour. C. 70 kilometers per hour. D. 80 kilometers per hour. 6. If all roses are flowers and some flowers fade quickly, what can be logically concluded? All roses fade quickly. B. Some roses may fade quickly. C. No roses fade quickly. D. Some roses are not flowers. 7. Abstract reasoning problems often involve A. Identifying trends in number sequences. E. Selecting shapes that follow a given pattern. C. Solving practical word problems. D. Interpreting bar graphs. 8. A candidate reads, all squares are rectangles. All rectangles are quadrilaterals. Therefore, which conclusion follows? All quadrilaterals are squares. E. All squares are quadrilaterals. C. No quadrilaterals are squares. D. Some rectangles are not quadrilaterals. 9. In numerical reasoning, what is 25% of 320? A. 60. B. 70. C. 80. D. 90. 10. A logical reasoning problem presents if A is taller than B and B is taller than C, who is the tallest? A. B. B. C. C. D. Not enough information. 11. Which best describes the purpose of the GCAT? A. To evaluate subject-specific knowledge. B. To measure general cognitive skills and problem solving. C. To test emotional intelligence. D. To assess technical training. 12. Which of the following is an example of verbal analogy tested in the GCAT? A. Cat, kitten, dog. B. Circle, square, triangle. C. 2, 4, 3. D. Hot, cold, wet. 13. Which sequence completes the pattern 2, 6, 12, 20? A. 28. B. 30. C. 32. D. 34. 14. If a word problem states, John has twice as many apples as Sarah. Sarah has 5 apples. How many does John have? A. 5. B. 10. C. 15. D. 20. 15. Abstract reasoning questions may ask test takers to A. Determine missing shapes in a sequence. B. Summarize reading passages. C. Calculate interest rates. E. Translate vocabulary. 16. In a verbal reasoning question, what is the opposite of scarce? A. Rare. B. Plentiful. C. Limited. D. Few. 17. If a series is 3, 6, 12, 24, what is the next number? A. 36. B. 42. C. 48. D. 50. 18. In logical reasoning, if some engineers are artists and all artists are creative, what conclusion is valid? All engineers are creative. E. Some engineers are creative. C. No engineers are creative. D. All creative people are engineers. 19. A typical numerical reasoning question in the GCAT includes A. Vocabulary definitions. B. Shape comparisons. C. Ratios and percentages. D. Memory recall exercises. 20. If 15 workers can complete a task in 12 days, how many workers are needed to complete the task in 6 days? A. 25. B. 30. C. 35. D. 40. 21. Which of the following best measures abstract reasoning ability? A. Completing arithmetic calculations. B. Choosing the next figure in a shape sequence. C. Writing an essay. D. Memorizing formulas. 22. Which of the following is a common format for GCAT logical reasoning? A. Multiple choice questions. B. Short essays. C. Oral presentations. D. Group discussions. 23. If all birds can fly is false, what does this imply? A. No birds can fly. E. Some birds cannot fly. All birds must fly. D. Birds are not animals. 24. Which skill is tested in verbal reasoning? A. Detecting assumptions. B. Solving quadratic equations. C. Visualizing spatial rotation. D. Measuring mechanical aptitude. 25. In number series reasoning, what comes next? 5, 10, 20, 40? A. 60. B. 70. C. 80. D. 90. 26. Logical reasoning questions often involve A. Identifying valid conclusions from given premises. E. Computing compound interest. C. Memorizing definitions. D. Drawing shapes. 27. Which of these is a synonym for obscure in verbal reasoning? A. Hidden. B. Bright. C. Clear. D. Open. 28. If a cube has 6 faces, how many faces do 4 cubes have in total? A. 18. B. 20. C. 22. D. 24. 29. Which question type is not typically found in the GCAT? A. Pattern recognition. B. Historical essay writing. C. Verbal analogies. D. Logical deduction. 30. Which is the primary goal of the CAT? A. To measure general problem solving across multiple domains. B. To test prior technical knowledge. C. To evaluate leadership skills. D. To assess cultural awareness. 31. If the ratio of boys to girls in a class is 3:2, and there are 30 students, how many are girls? A. 10. B. 12. C. 15. D. 18. 32. Which of the following is an antonym of diligent? A. Careful. B. Lazy. C. Hardworking. D. Persistent. 33. A logical reasoning test might present if no cats are dogs and some dogs are pets, which is true? A. Some cats are pets. B. No pets are cats. C. Some pets are not cats. D. All cats are pets. 34. Which comes next in the series? 1, 4, 9, 16. A. 20. B. 24. C. 25. D. 30. 35. If the average of 8 and 12 is x, what is x? A. 8. B. 9. C. 10. D. 11. 36. Verbal reasoning often includes A. Sentence completion. E. Long essay responses. C. Drawing diagrams. D. Solving physics problems. 37. Which of the following measures a candidate's ability to quickly recognize numerical patterns? A. Abstract reasoning. B. Logical reasoning. C. Numerical reasoning. D. Verbal reasoning. 38. A student solving a problem. If a shirt costs $25 and is discounted by 20%, what is the final price? A. $15. B. $18. C. $20. D. $22. 39. In abstract reasoning, if one figure rotates 90 degrees clockwise, which figure follows? A. A rotated version of the previous. E. A larger version of the same figure. C. A mirrored version. D. An unrelated figure. 40. Which type of question most directly assesses deductive logic? A. If-then statements. B. Word definitions. C. Memory recall. D. Diagram labeling.